I'm still seeing these bored monkey NFTs all the time, and every time I see them I think, can you get any lazier drawing a monkey than this? But then I sit down and indulge in my favorite activity, which is hating on PETA games, and then I found out yes, you can get a lot lazier. Today we're going to be taking a look at PETA's game Monkey Fright. But first I want to take a moment and talk about the unthinkable. PETA actually made a good game. I didn't think it was possible either. Made in 2016, the game is called Meat is Murder the Game. When you click on the game, you're greeted with a kind of creepy picture of a pig and some text that reads, "This beautiful creature must die." Okay, I know this isn't a great first impressions, but please bear with me here. This game plays like a very straightforward mobile game. The screen is divided into 4 sections. In each section, farm animals are moving slowly towards saw blades. All you have to do is click on these sections before the animals hit the saw blades, and each time you do that you gain a point. Sometimes there's these big animals that you have to tap on multiple times before they can be saved. You also have to look out for bombs. If you click on a section that has a bomb in it and it's lower than the animal, you lose. That's all there is to it. The gameplay is fun and simple. It makes for a perfect mobile game. Plus, I actually love the pixel art in this game. I especially love the colors in this game. It's all black and white except for the red on the saw blades, and the animals light up and have a rainbow trail when you save them. Aesthetically, the only problem is the text when you die. Look how hard it is to read. If it wasn't for PETA's reputation, I could see myself not caring about the title and just playing the game for fun. But that's just not the case here. Oh, by the way, don't scroll down under the game and watch the video and read the text. You will regret it. Oh, by the way, this game isn't even developed by PETA. It was created by a game studio called This Is Pop, which probably is the reason why this game is actually good. Maybe PETA finally realized how bad their games are, so they actually hired some outside help. Although that does contradict how the future PETA games are terrible, but let's not worry about that right now. Alright, now that we've gotten all of that stupid positivity out of the way, let's talk about one of the worst games I have ever played, Monkey Fright. I have to say the lore behind this game is actually more intriguing than the game itself, but we'll talk about that a little bit later, so make sure you stick around for that. Okay, Monkey Fright. Yep, it's really just a simple platformer, and that's me being generous. Walking feels fine, I guess, but the jump is very floaty. In the first level, you have to avoid these toxic bins and poisonous beakers. There's dead monkeys and blood all around you. Scientific posters are on the wall, along with windows that have bars on them. At the end of the level, you dodge these drills coming from the ceiling, and then you save a caged monkey. Or, at least I think you save it. No matter what happened to him, I'm sure he's in a better place now. You end the level by walking up to the door, and then level 2 immediately starts. I won't waste your time here, the game does not evolve much past this. There's now these bloody scientists you have to avoid, but other than that, there's not much happening here. On level 3 I died once, or should I say I got captured once, but that was the only time I died. As the game goes on, there's no new obstacles and it does not get harder. Level 4 is the last level, and there's not really an ending to the game, you just get this scream. The only pro to this game is the soundtrack, which is not typical. I've actually been playing it in the background of this video the entire time. I'll get to the interesting lore of this game in a minute, but first I want to talk about some comments that I've seen. They'll say something like, "Why are you being mean to this Flash game that was made about 10 years ago?" And while I understand where these people are coming from, PETA is a very big company that could be putting more effort into these games, but they just choose not to. And I've pointed out so many examples of them just clearly taking the easier route. And let's be real for a second, PETA is doing all of this for publicity's sake. There is no artistic integrity in any of these games, especially with these licensed parodies. And it's not like there aren't amazing Flash games that came out over 10 years ago already. And if you still think I'm being too harsh on PETA for these games, Monkey Fright came out in 2020. Alright, now it's Monkey Fright lore time. I'll let you know when the best part is coming, but first I'll give you guys some context. This game was made by a 16-year-old student, and you may think that invalidates all the stuff I just said, but hear me out. I'm not saying it's easy to make a game because I have no idea how to go about that. I especially didn't when I was 16. And let me be clear, I am not hating on the 16-year-old at all. I am exclusively hating on PETA. Okay, so PETA didn't make this game, just like they didn't make the Meat is Murder game that we talked about earlier. But they own the rights to these games or whatever. It's a PETA published game. So let's say you go on Steam and click on probably any developer and get a list of their games. You're never gonna see a fan game there, especially one of so low quality. Sure, there have been games that were inspired by fan-made games, but PETA is probably the only publisher that just took a fan-made game and just called it their own. I could be wrong here, so let me know in the comments if I am. And PETA didn't improve this game in any way, whether it be aesthetically or mechanically. In other words, PETA just doesn't care. They know their games are awful and do not mind lumping this in with the rest of their games. If you scroll down under the game, it explains that this game is based off someone who does experiments on monkeys. I don't agree with that at all, but whatever the hell this is does not make me want to take action. You could argue that this game is just to spread awareness, but if that's the case, they have failed because this game is so obscure and hard to research. I'm probably one of the few people who even have a video on this game on YouTube. With that being said, I am now spreading awareness of the topic, but shh. The more I read under this game, the sadder I get. There's a quote from the person who made this saying, "I hope that my video game will deliver a profound message to cruel laboratories around the world." I do think this kid has good intentions. Like I said earlier, I am not hating on the 16-year-old at all. But it really shows that this kid thinks that making this crudely made platformer is the best way to go about this topic as opposed to doing a lot of other things. I feel like this is someone who played the Pokemon parody games when they were a kid and thought that was actually making a difference. But in reality, they're not. All of these games are universally hated. And this is only a knock on PETA, it's their fault for marketing all of their games towards kids. At this point, you might be thinking that I'm being a little dramatic or exaggerating a bit, but this is my favorite part. It really shows what PETA's thought process is. I want to react to a video with you guys. It's a video promoting monkey fright.
This new game made by a student activist puts us in the shoes of monkeys terrorized at the NIH.
Yeah, I was really immersed in the game. I felt like a monkey myself.
This game inspires us.
Does it?
Because as we get a glimpse of what life is like for these monkeys, we realize we have to fight more than ever to end monkey terror experiments. Because no animal is ours to abuse for science.
The glimpse that we're getting is so cartoony and dumbed down to the point that no one is going to take this seriously. I can only imagine an adult approving this entire game and this video in an ironic way. I think PETA knows exactly what they're doing and have a mindset that no publicity is bad publicity. All of these games are examples of PETA doing things the wrong way. Make sure you're subscribed because we still have some more terrible games to go.